Well, Scott, let's go. We're gonna go play in some shadows. Scott, you and I jumped over to the world of Steam to check out Shadow Tactics' latest DLC, Aiko's Choice, and dude, what a game. So let's preface this by going, you do not need to play the first one in order to understand the DLC. It's a standalone story, but it picks up with the characters that I believe you understand and know in the backstory of the first one. So if you actually played the game, it's gonna lend itself a lot more into this one. You and I did not play that. We jumped right into the DLC, and for us to get the grips of the mechanics of the game took us a little while, don't you think?
Yeah, I've put it in a few different ways, but I feel a little slapped up by it. The difficulty grade is just very sudden. So you think you're getting used to the kind of ins and outs. It gives you a bit of a tutorial. Yeah. It really does, but it just hammers you with the difficulty right out of the gates.
Right in that very moment, the gameplay kicks in, and you're like, it's like a small, brief little cutscene, and boom, you're into the thick of things. And the guards surrounding the area have the longest cone vision I have ever seen in any game. If you've never played Shadow Tactics, I'm telling you, this is one of the most incredible games I've ever played on Steam. This is a fantastic addition. I love the DLC. I love the art style. I love the characters. The more I got into the game, the more I started to understand the mechanics. It is through and through a PC game, because I felt like everything on my keyboard had a button purpose, and it was ridiculous. Typically, we're used to moving with the ASWD keys. That's not how it works. That's actually your abilities. And I was just like, whoa, completely threw me off, right? Move your camera around, you want to go to the arrows, and then dude, there's just such an importance of how everything functions with the keyboard to control your characters and set yourself up. In a lot of tactic games, we're kind of used to the XCOM feel, right? Mm-hmm. That turn-based. Well, it's not turn-based in this case, but it's very tactile. Scott, how are you getting used to the controls?
It is really important to kind of learn how to hit those buttons in the right speed, because it's very unforgiving. When the combat kicks off, it really kicks off. And you're often doing these kind of planned motions, and I think that's my favorite part of this. It reminds me of the old Ghost Recon back in the day, but you can select a character, queue up with the shift button, and attack, but they don't move until you hit the enter button. You can queue up a bunch of different things to happen all simultaneously. You have to do this a lot, and you hit the enter and watch them all move in concert. That's my favorite aspect of it, because I like to plan things out really intently when I get into a stealth game. So I kind of play like the Predator, though, so I'm running around just getting rid of everything on the map, but it's not easy. Some of that difficulty, though, I have to get to the characters and the differences between them. Yep. It's really interesting that way, because that's how you form these tactics. You have to know what these guys do. And you start off with a shinobi character, this kind of sneaky guy. You have Aiko the thief, and she, again, very sneaky. And then you have this big kind of lumbering samurai. And his name is Mugen. I thought that was cool. That may be a call out to an anime I've watched, actually. And it was really hard kind of moving them all through the map, because they have different projectile attacks. The big guy can't use rope ladders, that kind of thing. So it takes a lot of planning.
Absolutely. I think that's the biggest thing about this game, is how tactile this game really is. I would sit there and go, okay, you basically approach this like a puzzle, right? And how do you unfold and kind of unravel the puzzle to get to the objective? And like you say, each character has their own specific rule set of how they play throughout the game. I found myself being able to get across the map with one character, but in order to get the rest of them over there, I had to take a different path, or I had to plan out different strategies, right? Move in different ways, hiding between the bushes, using shadow mode, and all these cool mechanics. Really is very complicated. Is one of the most complex games I think I've played this year, but is worth every minute of it. It is so well done. This is brilliant, Scott.
And it is hands down the most complicated, and unforgiving combat, but they do have a good feature in there, the quick save with F5, quick load with F8. You'll be doing that a lot, and that is, well, if it wasn't in the game, it'd be really hard. A stealth game was something that I think I can say we really missed, and to get into this one was definitely a good time. Now, it is super difficult, but again, that's something that I think I enjoy, and just a little bit too punishing, but I enjoy it otherwise. The action is definitely what sells this title to me, and it is quite unique as far as anything I've ever seen. I'm really impressed with this game, but it did just beat me down a little too hard. I have to give this a 7.5.
Wow, dude, that's funny to hear you say as it beats you down, because this is why I don't play Dark Souls or Demon Souls games, right? It has that whole genre, and this has that kind of sense and feel, but from a different perspective that I'm able to kind of stealthily sit back and wait, watch everything, and then plan out my moves from there. Where the Demon Souls, the Dark Souls games, you're kind of forced into a situation, and then that's it. It's just at you, and you got to defeat it one way or another, or you die. Here, I'm able to kind of plan out my strategy, and I really adore this game. For me, dude, I've had a blast, and it's worth everybody's time. 8.5 for me.
Aiko's Choice DLC for Shadow Tactics brings challenging squad stealth with a very complicated control scheme. The difficulty leads to extremely satisfying gameplay.